Hey, Caitlin, how are you?
Hi. Hi, Rich. All morning I thought it was like 2 days later than it actually is, but aside from that, I'm doing great.
Well, you're gonna have a little deja vu because we recorded this one once and all the audio was missing, as you know, and so we're gonna do it
I
again.
know, which is a real heartbreak because I gotta say, I
It was
felt
good.
very funny. I
I
felt very
was,
funny.
we were both
The high
very
bar.
on. So if you're disappointed in this episode, I'm sorry. There's an unknown episode somewhere out in the cosmos where our audio went. It said it was recording and it didn't. So um,
And we're
bless
just as
that.
heartbroken as you are.
Yeah, no, seriously. So anyway, today we're going to talk about inbound marketing basics. So we've done a little inbound 101. We've done some of the, what is inbound in other forms. So we're hitting that in the podcast.
Hmm.
So we'll talk about what it is and how you can implement it in your marketing strategy. But more importantly, this drink is crazy. Apples and pears. It's like a fruit bowl.
It is. I'm preferring to call it a pair of apples.
Ah, the pun.
'Cause there's apple flavored vodka and a little hard apple cider, and if you wanna go extra, it could be like a triplet of apples, but that doesn't quite fit in because you can garnish with an apple slice. But, this is a fall cocktail
It could be a
crafted
It could be three apples in a pear, just like, like four weddings and a funeral.
but but I don't like that as much.
Oh, okay. All right. A pair of apples, but pear is spelled
PA,
P-E-A-R.
yes, and then you could but also you would have to pair your apple, potentially,
Oh, P-A-R-E.
P-A-R-E,
And it's a pair,
get your
P-A-I-R.
apple
Because
yeah,
English is
yep.
easy. English is
Mhm.
such an easy language.
It's very
There.
confusing,
You,
but
your.
also it's satisfying if you're in on the joke. This is a fall cocktail crafted by Charlotte Voisey, which combines apple-flavored vodka, pear, lime, Angostura bitters, and hard cider with homemade vanilla nutmeg syrup, and I gotta tell you, if I think that
Mm,
the homemade vanilla nutmeg syrup is extra, it's extra, okay?
yeah, it's a little
This is it's
complex.
involved and also kind of expensive. Like,
Yeah.
this is a bougie simple syrup.
Yeah, and I do want to
Bougie.
point out, like, I do still feel like, and I haven't looked it up to see, but apple flavored vodka, not a common thing. Pear vodka, yes.
Yes.
You've bootlegged some of that for me, or I not really
Mhm.
bootlegged. You just bought it at a store and took it to your house.
I did. Yep.
Um, so that we could
I'm not
do
trafficking
the
anything.
lychee cocktails, which use pear vodka. But apple vodka, I honestly have never seen an apple flavored vodka. So Charlotte Voisey works for a booze distributor, and I'm wondering if this is their apple vodka, and they created this and are pushing it and promoting it
Mhm.
to sell
It's
that.
a
Now,
ruse.
would not be the first time in the history of
Certainly not.
drink creation that a bartender or booze company has created a drink to use what they have on hand that needs to
Uh-huh.
go away.
Yeah.
So,
Or vice versa in this case. Maybe they created an apple vodka and they were like, "Well, shit, now what do we do?"
yeah, it could
So,
be.
you give me a
Thought
pair of apples.
Thought there thought there'd be a whole lot of demand for this, but I guess we have to create demand. I do want to say also, second only to the complexity of the vanilla nutmeg syrup is juicing your own pear.
Yeah, don't
This
do that.
You need equipment for that, but buy some good pear juice or pear is it
Nectar?
nectar, right?
Pear
I was gonna say
nectar?
extract, and I'm like, that's not right. Nectar.
No.
And
Pear
your favorite.
nectar comes in a can. It's in
Mhm.
the Latin, Spanish, Mexican ethnic
Ethnic.
section of your local grocery store. It's a blue can called Humex, but it's Jumex,
Or if
and,
you're in Omaha, you can go to Jacobo's or Jacobo's, as some people say, but it's Jacobo's. Oh
no.
no, I've heard it. Believe me, I
Oh,
was like,
no.
oh, but I mean, this is the land of Beatrice as a town, not Beatrice, Beatrice, Nebraska.
What?
Yeah, oh yeah. And you guys have
That's offensive.
You have Madrid,
Madrid and
Iowa.
Nevada,
Hmm.
to there.
So
Mhm.
anyway, Jacobo's or your local Mexican grocery is going to have this, but most grocery stores have this nectar, and it's honestly
Mhm.
really great in
So
cocktails.
good.
So
So
good.
good.
So much
It's got a
sugar.
little bit more it's not like an apple juice or like a cranberry juice where you get like, you just have the flavor and the color. It's got a little bit more like viscosity, and the body of it
Mm,
is so much better because
yeah, because it's a
it's
nectar.
it's not like it's not pulpy, but it's like it's thicker. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's making my mouth water.
So this vanilla nutmeg syrup also, and then we'll get to how you put it all together. Basically, you
What have
make
you
simple
got?
syrup, you throw some nutmeg and 6 vanilla beans cut in half lengthwise to infuse in here. Um,
6
but
vanilla
vanilla
beans.
beans aren't, they're not terribly pricey, but they're not super cheap.
But also, who has the frackin' time to scrape out 6 vanilla beans?
This doesn't make you scrape it. You just cut them in half lengthwise and throw them in because it's going to steep in there and pull the vanilla flavor out.
Okay.
Um,
I'm still
the
not sold on this.
I know
When you
it's
buy when you buy vanilla beans at like at a Hy-Vee, which is where I buy my vanilla beans, I've never bought vanilla beans, but if I was
oh,
going
we
to,
have.
they come like 3 in a container
Oh, you
in
can
like
get
the
them in
top.
bulk on the internet. The internets have bulk vanilla beans that you
You're
can
the
buy.
reason
Maybe
that
Zach
there
will
are
put a
food
link
deserts.
to bulk vanilla beans. But so here's what I would try. So we have pure, like very good pure vanilla extract. Like it's from
Mm-hmm.
Mexico. It's really wonderful. I would start with just a little bit of that, although you can't really taste simple syrup because it's so hot until it
Mm-hmm.
cools. I have to smell it. So anyway,
Yeah.
you make simple syrup, 2 cups sugar, 2 teaspoons ground nutmeg, 6 vanilla beans cut in half, and 2 cups water. Simple syrup is always equal parts water and sugar, and then whatever else you want to throw in there. Cook it on low heat, stir it until it's all dissolved, and then let it cool into a closed container stored in the refrigerator. It will keep longer. Or just go find your, I mean, I don't know if you can find vanilla simple syrup. I know there's a
I
vanilla
don't know.
maple syrup like that I've had for pancakes, but that would make this a whole different drink. Anyway,
Yeah.
um,
Godspeed on the syrup, guys.
yeah.
It's
So
a
once
lot.
once you have all those, you can, as usual, put your vodka, pear juice, syrup, lime juice, and bitters all into a shaker and shake them with ice until your hand is freezing.
So
Strain it
sugar.
into a double old-fashioned glass, um,
Or a call.
or
I mean, like, just use a
a
Collins
Collins
glass.
glass is
It's
fine.
fine.
I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, a pint glass is fine. Nobody's gonna really care.
Well,
Over some
I
fresh
would care.
ice. So don't use your dirty ice from your drink. Use fresh
Mm-hmm.
ice. Top it off with the hard cider because remember we don't put fizzy things in the shaker. Um, then
Mm.
garnish with your apple slice. Sprinkle some fresh grated nutmeg over it. Um, and yeah, there you go. So that's from liquor.com via Charlotte Voisey, who we
Ta-da!
think is probably just a shill for apple flavored vodka. Um, all right, so I think we did it, Caitlin. So we can take a break first of all because I need a break after that. That was a lot. Just a simple
I
syrup. I need a
want to go,
break.
I know the syrup so much. I want to spend a little bit more time just reminiscing about all of the lunches in Honduras that I had kiddos drinking like pear nectar,
Because so we
Humex.
bring up nectar, it reminds you of humex, which you had in Honduras, and then we go back to
Mm-hmm.
Honduras, and now it's the food
Mostly.
because we're very food centric.
Yeah.
I get it. So
I
what was
would
your
love a
favorite lunch
little
then? You get like a
like a
minute.
baleada. So it's like a homemade flour tortilla with beans, refried beans, and then they have like queso fresco, and then my mouth is fully watering. It was so good.
Hmm.
And then crema, like sort of sour cream, but it was like sweeter. Just like, and then you just fold it
Nice.
into like a little quesadilla and away you go.
Somebody that I follow on Instagram. I have no idea who. It's probably not even somebody that I know, but they have a South American boyfriend who they
Mhm.
filmed making arepas from
Oh yeah.
scratch. Well, we will take a quick break and then we'll be back to talk about inbound marketing and some of the basics. Well, and with that, we're back. Hey, anytime somebody else does a big sigh, I'm gonna make a reference to it so that it
It
must be kept
it
in the
stimulates your
episode.
vagus nerve. It's
Mhm.
good for stress relief.
It's good for extra oxygen. Like you get out a lot of carbon dioxide, and so you have to inhale deeper for your more oxygen. It's a good
Mhm.
thing, as
Yeah.
Martha Stewart used to say, right? Was she the one? It's a good
I
thing.
don't know. I
Yeah, I
so,
think it
like,
was Martha Stewart.
I did never watch Martha Stewart. Like, by the
You
time I
knew she
was
was a
of
felon.
age, yeah, like, I was consuming Martha Stewart as like an inside trader, and then now she's come back around as the best friend of Snoop Dogg, which
Well, so she
is
started out
wild.
pre-Snoop and pre-prison. She just started out being like the quintessential cooking show lady.
Oh no, she's like a waspy New Englander. I know
Oh
exactly
yeah,
like her
100%.
history. Yeah. It
But she
just
was
like I didn't consume that type of Martha Stewart content.
mm,
Now she's like, isn't she like 70? And she's babe, just like
I don't know, maybe.
hot
I mean,
grandmother. I don't know.
we've talked about
Anyway,
this. 70's the new 50, 50's the new 35, 35's the new 12. So,
I don't
oh,
want
that's
to
not
be
right.
12. I'm
35's
30.
the new 25, I think. That's what it is.
I don't think so. I don't know. I don't
Is
think we have time for
25 the
that.
new 12? I did read a thing today that said when you when you're 35, you feel like you're 39. When you're 36, you're suddenly 50.
Well, I'll
So,
be 37 in like 4 days, and I don't
okay,
feel
well,
50, but
okay.
I also don't feel 25.
Correct. Zach wants to know what 25 would be. So if 35 would be the new 25 is the new 12, Zach.
I think 25 is like 18.
It might be. I
You're
mean,
like
I
old
feel like
enough, but you're not like, I don't know,
for me, 18 to 29 were all kind of one compressed group.
slutty.
No, I didn't do that till I was in my not until I was in my 30s in Chicago. I was in really repressed small towns like in my 20s. It wasn't
Okay.
anything like great. All right, so I think Zach's probably going to cut half of that out because we're rambling, but that was a
I hope
big
not.
tangent. So let's talk about Caitlin. What is inbound marketing?
What is inbound marketing? Pretend like I don't know, because some days
Sure.
I don't feel like I
Sometimes,
do.
sometimes we are having a Tuesday on a Tuesday. Inbound marketing. So HubSpot kind of coined, they didn't really invent inbound marketing. It's a thing, but they really like pushed it to the mainstream, I think. So it's a methodology where you attract customers to you instead of like pushing your audience, pushing your message to people who don't want to hear it. So it's the
Mhm.
opposite of cold calling. So the
Blech.
can I talk to you about your or your car warranty? Is the opposite of inbound. Inbound would be I'm searching for car warranty and I find some options and I choose one and I go there.
Mhm.
Um, so it's really making tailored marketing experience by using content. We all hear content is kings, content is queen, content is like the
Yes.
best. It has to be valuable though. It has to be something that people are they got to want to give you their information. So what do I have to give you for you to give me your email address? What
Mhm.
more do I have to give if you're going to give me your phone number? Like that's a big one.
Right.
Because I can unsubscribe, but if you're going to call me like 43 times, short of me picking up the phone, actually answering and yelling at you, um,
Mhm.
it's really hard to unsubscribe from that. So basically, you bring customers to you and use your content to help drive their engagement with you, ideally convert them to a customer client, and then help them grow. So that's what it is.
The end.
We're done. Zach, we ended early. Um, okay, so um, some people would be like, why does it work? So we know that cold calling and cold email is a volume game, right? It's the same thing with spam.
Ugh.
It's just the more you put out, the more likely it is that somebody will hit. Um, Inbound marketing doesn't work that way.
It is
Um,
still, I will say it is still kind of a volume game. It's just like a quality over quantity volume,
Correct.
you know?
It's not as high, and you can actually improve your scores with better quality
Yeah.
and not have to improve any volume. So you really do look at those conversion rates, and there are ways to improve those
Right.
with what you're putting out there and where you're putting it, right? So the goal here is to
Mhm.
get in front of your potential audience, your potential customer with something that they're looking for, a problem you can solve, a solution for them, or
Yes.
sometimes it's pointing out a problem they have. Like, we've got some headlines that are like, "Is your website working as hard as it should?" Well, now I've got
Mhm.
now I don't know. Now maybe it's not. Shit, I have no idea.
No, I don't know. Is it? Can you tell me? And we
So
can.
yeah, we can. And then basically leading them along a nurture journey so that they can understand they have a problem, they can look for solutions to that problem. Your content is there where they're looking for that, and ideally they come to you to solve the problem. Um, it's not a hard sell though. Like I think the people think people miss too is with inbound, that middle of the funnel is a consultative piece. You're still
Mhm.
not pushing your solution. You might be starting to lean them toward it, but you're
Right.
helping them explore solutions to this problem that they've raised or you've raised. The end of the funnel is where you're like, and by the way, I've been helping you this whole time, so you should just come to me and use my solution. Um,
By the way, I know more.
but
It's like Ron Swanson standing in Menards. I know more than you, but kindly, you know.
same thing. Menards featured on SNL, but they got it wrong. What they said that 10%
Can you
discount.
even
Everybody's
believe
like, it's
it's
11%.
11?
And it was funny to me because
And that, yeah,
Is it Jen Psaki, the former
Jen
press
Psaki,
secretary
yeah,
Psaki,
yeah.
was like, no notes. And everybody's like, I got one note. It's
Except one,
11%.
right? And everybody knows it.
And I believe Tim Walz would have like corrected her on that as well. But SNL, like,
Can I
okay, the
just
writers in
say,
New York
right?
disconnected from the perpetual Menards rebate of 11%.
Can I just say that before Tim Walz was a Menards guide to the general public, I was interviewed by Funny or Die, and that was the question they asked: is Tim Walz a Lowe's or a Home Depot guy? And I was like, he's a Menards guy. And then they were
Nice.
like,
Yeah,
what is
100%.
Menards? And I was like, what the hell?
But when you get Tim to do an interview, you can ask him. No, it was really, really funny. They had some good shots there. So anyway, I
Menards
talked
does
about
not do any inbound marketing. Let's be very
no,
clear about that.
no, they just do broadcasts. Um, all right, so we talked a little bit there. High quality content, getting it where your audience is. So you have to know where your audience is and what they're doing, right?
Mhm,
So that is part of the buyer's journey. It's like take off your sales hat because we don't need it. Put
mhm.
on your buyer hat. What
Yeah.
steps are they going through? What are they consuming? Personas are very handy here.
Yes.
Basically, how are they researching their problem? How are they discovering they have a problem? How are they considering different solutions? Where are those
Mhm.
things at? And how do you get in front of them? And of course, there's one giant behemoth, obvious one where people go to look for problems and answers.
Google.
Yes, thank you for picking that up. I know we're maybe
It's
not.
a it's a
It's a lot.
Thursday.
It's a Thursday. It's a Tuesday that feels like a Thursday that feels like a Monday. Yeah, so Google's a huge one, and that's why Google PPC works so well, and Google has so much search. AI
Mhm.
is starting to play in that territory, though sometimes accurately, sometimes inaccurately. I believe we talked about the glue in pizza sauce recommendation that AI was putting
Uh,
out. So don't trust AI completely, and honestly, you can't trust every result on Google. The quality is different. But presumably your content will rise to the top if it is quality and comes closer to their question.
Mhm.
There's other things you can do with SEO markup and schema, it's called, to make sure that your questions and answers show up.
Hmm.
Um,
Schema. It's a
yep,
fun word.
it is. It's a very fun word. So people are basically going through like three things, and we've heard these a million times in marketing classes: awareness, consideration, and decision. So awareness, either they're aware of the problem or you make them aware of the problem, and they're looking for just information, resources, and answers. Consideration, they really have defined their problem and now they're looking for a true solution. They've kind of looked at the whole big field of everything they could do, and now
Mhm.
they want to try to narrow it down to one thing. This is where your content can be really, really, really helpful. And then decision. So, and that's really your sales point with inbound is that decision. You're kind of selling all along, but you're soft selling a little bit. But at the decision point, that's where you really want to bring them in and get them attracted to you. So, yeah.
What is lead gen?
Okay, so lead gen is
After all of
sometimes
that.
used synonymously with inbound. They are very similar and they work together and play together, but it's the idea of attracting and converting strangers and prospects into someone. You do lead generation with inbound marketing. So they are related. They're not exactly synonymous, but they're very, very closely related. So basically, somebody who's indicated interest in your company's product or service becomes a lead. A lead is not a list of people that you bought from some third-party database. That does not work. These leads are truly people who've expressed some sort of an interest. They filled out a form, they've asked you a question, they've been visiting pages on your website, those types of things. Um, you really run into lead generation every single day.
Mhm.
Job applications can be lead gen, right? Because we're trying to grab
Yeah.
leads with a job application. The whole point is fill out that form. Blog posts,
Yeah.
coupons, live events, online content, all of those can be examples of lead generation. So like
Mhm.
trade shows, we were just at Inbound not too long ago. Live
I
event,
got
they've
an
got
I
the
got a follow-up email from one of the booths I stopped at today.
I got one from one, and I will not name them, but they said, "Hope you love your bag." And I'm like, I wrote back and said, "When I stopped by your booth, there were no bags left.
Oh
And you
no.
offered me a water bottle, and I declined because I already had my big, giant 32-ounce Yeti water bottle from
36
HubSpot
ounces.
and G2. Oh,
36 ounces.
36. Wow. Oh,
She's a big mama.
follow up to that episode, we did have a lid with a straw in it. We actually had two. So Brian has graciously given me one of the lids with a straw for Yeti, so I don't have to unscrew it to drink.
Wow.
Um, he gave me the black one though, and he kept the orange lid, and I'm like, I want the orange lid, but he's like, no, I want the orange lid. So there we are. But yeah, so you click badges or you exchange business cards. All of those, you're gathering leads, right? And those people have in some way, shape, or form expressed interest to you.
Mhm.
Lead gen is not the AT&T booth at Costco, where as you walk by, they try to get you to switch phone providers or sign up for a cell phone. But I don't know who doesn't have a cell phone. I guess there's some people, but it's got to be really small.
I talked to a woman the other day who only had a flip phone.
Yeah,
Granted, she was 90 years old, so, you know.
but younger people are going back to that though because the smartphone is such an intrusive device. There are people who are going to simplify and they're just going back to
Mhm.
like the T9 as we called it,
Oh, yeah,
the T9
QWERTY.
keypad. Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
T9
Yeah.
keypad. So anyway, you interact with lead gen all day, every day. Any email that you get is probably because you did something that generate a lead. You're a lead
Mhm.
for somebody. So yeah. So I think the only other kind of things we have a couple things. We got a few minutes left, probably 6 or 7 minutes, I'm guessing, based on Zach's timer. Um, Lead generation, though, like how do you do it? So what does content look like? Like we say content, and it's just this big, like, I don't know, what's
Mhm.
content? Like everything's content. That brick wall is content. That painting is content. Um, yeah, sort of.
Oh god.
Um,
It's like, it's like everything is content? Is that a thing? I
so
feel
I
like
go
there was like
to
a
Everything is Awesome from the Lego movie. If you say everything is awesome is
Everything
the
is
next thing
cool
out of
and
my
you're part of
mouth.
the team.
Yep, and then I start singing. That's how it works. So yeah, so anyway, landing pages are a great place because landing pages are like your website pages, but they don't have external, like they don't have navigation to take people away. The goal is that it's a contained experience on
Mhm.
that page, and I either leave the page or I fill out your form and do what you want me to do.
Yes.
Uh, and landing pages can contain other things. They can contain a downloadable offer. They can contain a calculator. They can contain all kinds of things.
Mhm.
Um, you can also generate leads just using organic and paid social media. Facebook and LinkedIn both have what they call lead ads, where people basically one click fill out a form that because we know Facebook and LinkedIn know their email address, right? Um, so those can be really handy. Obviously, emails is one.
Mhm.
Search engine optimization, so getting your stuff in front of people there, or referral marketing. So one, I think we talked about it in our email episode. I'm sure Charlotte touched on this because she's brought it up several times to me. Is in your marketing emails that go out or your newsletter have forward to a friend on there. That's a referral.
Mhm. Mhm.
You can also give people an offer for referring to a friend. If you refer to a friend and they buy and they use your name as in the coupon code, then you'll get 20% off next time. So it's really just about having some sort of a point of view, understanding where your audience is, having things you put in front of them at those places and pieces. That's inbound. So
The
if you're
one thing I
looking,
always
oh, go ahead.
I kind of liken it, and we've talked about this with some clients too, where inbound marketing is really about like that full circle. Like you're
Hmm.
just trying to serve the customer wherever they are, and you're your customer service questions and like outreach or,
Hmm.
ways in which people are contacting you with problems or questions can really inform the rest of your inbound structure
Yep.
because it's like if people that have already purchased from me are having these questions, likely somebody else in that process is also having
Hmm.
those questions. And so you can use that kind of full circle or like full 30,000-foot view of your customer path to inform your marketing strategy. And it's
Yeah.
less like you touched on this earlier, it's less about directly selling all of the time and more about serving your client or your customer in a way that is meaningful to them. So it's not like buy now, click here, buy now, buy now, buy now. It's like
Yep.
here's some information that might help you make a more informed decision. Here's why our product might help you along your way or, why we're the experts at this. Like
Yep.
it's a little bit more subtle and not quite so
Pushy.
yelly. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the other example that we've used, and I use a there's a sanitized version of this, and then there's a not safe for work version. I'm just using a sanitized, but it's like going to a bar, right?
Ooh.
It's it's like going into a bar and screaming, "Who wants to marry me?" Or worse, cold calling is like going up and being like, "Do you want to marry me? Do you want to marry
Mhm.
me? Do you want to marry me? Do you want to marry me?" We laugh and it's ridiculous, but that's exactly what it's like. Versus inbound is like going
Mhm.
on a couple of blind dates or getting matched with some people, being
Yep.
interested in them, and going on a journey to get to know them to determine if you want to spend time with them or don't.
Yes. Well, and it's
Inbound is
also yeah, it's also, like, providing that social proof, right? That,
mhm.
like, oh, that's where that referral comes in. Somebody that I know and trust or somebody who looks and sounds like
Oh,
me
yeah.
has purchased this product or used this service, and
Mhm.
I can see myself in them. If other people are doing it, I wanna do it too.
Yep. Yeah, so I wanna wrap up with, it's not hard to get started with inbound marketing. You
Mm-mm.
probably have assets already that you can use if you've got a brochure or product information or, blogs that you've been using. You can also, use AI to generate ideas for your business.
Mhm.
Wouldn't have it do the whole thing there. A human does need to weigh in on there, like, for all the reasons we said, glue and
Yeah.
tomato sauce or in pizza sauce. But the idea is that you've got a product or service that you could look at that customer's journey around, literally sit down and map out their journey. Where are they going to find information? Where are they going to find answers? What are their problems? You've also presumably got customers, right? And to your point, what are your customers' issues when they onboard? What
Mhm.
are their hurdles they get up? You should solve those, but also those are problems other people are probably
Right.
having, and you can put out things about that. And it could be like, hey, have you noticed your leads have fallen off from your website? Have you noticed your, organic search has fallen off, your traffic
Mhm.
has fallen off?
Mhm.
Here's why that might be. Here's how we can help. And really, you just have to put together 2 or 3 pieces of content. You want something to kinda try to bring them in, and then
Mhm.
and get that out there via, some ads. You can do $10 a day in most platforms, you'll be good. And then, you can, also, have a couple of things to follow up with them on, but honestly, once they grab something, you should reach out to them and,
Mhm.
ask if you can help, offer to be consultative, and then just let your natural sales process, take over from there,
Exactly.
in a non-invasive way. But, yeah, start with something. If you don't start today, you'll never get where you need to be. So, I think that's, an episode, Caitlin.
That's it.
Um
Again.
Yep, and I am, before you thank everybody, I'm supposed to tell them that we have another episode coming next week because we're weekly now, assuming these all actually record and there's audio at the end of this and Zach can put it together. If there's not, you're not hearing this. So, um, but our drink is a weird one. It's the tea ceremony. There's tea in it, I'm sure. Um, and we're going to talk about WordPress versus HubSpot CMS, and we can get into some of the stuff
I
going
can't
on with
wait.
WordPress. There is some drama. We'll spill the tea,
Yes.
Caitlin. We will
I can't
spill
wait.
the tea.
And I cannot
Um,
wait.
all right. So how do people find
You
us?
you can find us at antidote_71 And if you have a question you'd like to send our way, you can visit ctapodcast.live to send us a message, or you can leave us a voice message on our hotline at 402-718-9971, and your question might make it into a future episode, but it probably will.
Oh, it will. And we may have gifts. We'll talk about that maybe in the next episode, but there may be gifts coming this fall for people who leave voicemails. I'll just say it. We'll send a gift to people who leave a voicemail, but we'll talk a little more about that in the next episode. So you've got to join
We
us
will.
then. But yeah,
Can I get a gift?
you will get one 100%. You'll even get one of there's a fancy gift and there's a less fancy gift. You'll get one of the fancy ones. I promise.
Obviously.
Yeah,
I'm very excited for my fancy gift.
I'm taking a fancy one too. So
That's not surprising to anyone who knows you.
no, I know. All right. Well, I will see you next time, Caitlin. It's been wonderful. Go scrape some vanilla beans.